the teachings of Saint Luke, the doctor and Archbishop of Simferopol in Crimea, who passed away in the early 1960s. He was a doctor. He was a married doctor with 4 children. Unfortunately, his wife passed away from tuberculosis after she gave birth to the 4 children. And St. Luke was a very faithful Christian Orthodox, but after his wife passed, he became a priest monk and then a bishop. He was exiled to various gulags in Siberia. He had a very difficult tribulation with the communist regime there, but he is declared a saint. We've witnessed a lot of his miracles. Now, some of his teachings. He said, first, hold on to your faith, which is eternal and indisputable. The spiritual world is not investigated with the methods we use to investigate the material world. These methods are completely unsuitable for investigating the spiritual world with them. There are phenomena that science will never be able to explain because it does not use the appropriate methods. Can science tell us how the great prophet Isaiah, 700 years before the birth of Christ, foretold the most important events of Christ's life? Let science explain to us how the clairvoyant grace and the saints have, and tell us by what natural methods did these saints acquire the grace, and how could they, as soon as they saw an unknown person, immediately understand his heart and read his thoughts? Without waiting for the visitor to ask a question, they gave answers to what troubled them. Let them explain to us in what way the saints foretold the great historical events that over time came to pass, exactly as they had prophesied them. Do not be scandalized when you hear what they say against the faith, since those who say them do not understand the essence of faith. You should always remember the basic principles that the early Christians knew very well. They considered the man who knows all the sciences but does not know God to be unhappy, and on the contrary, they considered blessed the one who knows God, even if he knew absolutely nothing of human things. Keep this truth as the greatest treasure of your heart. Go straight and do not look to the right or to the left. Let us not be led astray by what we hear against religion. Let us hold on to our faith, which is an eternal and indisputable truth. B, for bringing up children. Let the educated and trained of your children not be limited to external wisdom, to the wisdom of this world. Let them learn at the same time the wisdom from above and the highest truth. Let's remember he was a physician, a very, very well-known surgeon. Let them learn the law of God and the commandments of Christ. Let them learn piety, how to always have the memory of God and the correct Christian path. Only then will your children not be lost in the ways of human wisdom. Only then, above all, will they always have Christian wisdom, the knowledge of God. And this is how we must educate our children, he said. You will give an account before God for the bad examples you give to your children, for the quarrels that take place before their eyes, for the chatter they hear you say. If you yourself do this, then what can your children learn from you? A small shoot where you learn it, where you lean it, will take such a lean. A new vessel, whether it will emit a smell or a bad smell, depends on what you fill it with, putting either perfumes or impurities inside. Take care of your children, be an example for them of genuine Christian life, and the blessing of the Lord forever and ever will be upon you, all of you and your children. Amen, my saints. May your blessing be upon us all. One of the, I'm going to tell you a miracle that I have witnessed. Okay, we used to have a cleaning lady that came over to our house. She was from Ukraine. And she used to love cleaning the windows inside out. And at one point I saw her outside of my second floor window, cleaning the window panes from the outside of the window. And I told her, come on in, you're going to fall down and kill yourself. She says, no, no, I'm fine, don't worry about me. Well, later what happened, I found out that she was on a ladder and she was doing something at some other house, and she fell from the ladder and she hit her head on the floor. She had a concussion. She was in bed. The doctor told her to stay in bed for a month. And what happened was that she was in pain. She had a concussion. And she saw this man in her dream that said to her, don't worry, I will be talking in her language, Ukrainian. Don't worry, I'm going to make you well. And she said, who are you? And he said, my name is Luke. And then she became better. Now, when she came back to work for us and we were having coffee one morning, she told me this whole thing. And she said, but something very strange about his face. One eye was looking this way, the other eye was looking that way. And I said, what? And I showed her a picture of St. Luke of Crimea, who had sustained eye damage from the tribulations in Siberia, and one of his eyes was looking in another direction from the other eye. And I showed her a picture of him. And she said, that's him. And I said, get up, we're going to the monastery, which is about an hour's drive from Athens, north of Athens, where there's a chapel of St. Luke of Crimea. And I said, this is St. Luke of Crimea. And he didn't say, I'm St. Luke, the Bishop of Crimea. He says, my name is Luke. That's what he told her, very humbly, very simply. So he went to the chapel there. We told the abbot the miracle that St. Luke of Crimea helped her get better. And let's remember, he was also a doctor. And he told her this. And she was like, luckily enough, she remembered to ask him, what is your name? Who are you? And he told her. That's amazing. And after that, she was well. It's just great. So a lot of things like that taking place with St. Luke of Crimea. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Let's remember that God's saints are helping us even though we don't see them around us. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.